Motion by Councilman Medina, second by Councilman Marquez. Councilman Marquez?
Yes.
Councilman Medina?
Yes.
Councilman Alvarez?
Yes.
And Mayor De La Riva.
Yes, item number 3, Mr. Marquez.
I have two questions for item number 3. According to the background, or actually under the discussion, there is a section that reads that there will be a representative appointed by each of the following cities. Maywood is one of them. Do we know who the representative for Maywood is for this?
I think that would be up to us, to the council, if you want to send staff or a council member.
And I've made note to speak with the executive director to get more information on regards to that. But my understanding is that the engineering firm has been communicating with them so far.
Great.
Okay. And on the last page, on the back side, it says City of Southgate at the very top. Was that, I just wanted to understand the category exemption was adopted by the City of Southgate as lead agents. Oh, never mind, I just answered my own question when I read that.
Yeah, they're taking the lead with LAFCO.
Lead agency.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll
Any
make a
further
motion.
questions? No, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Motion by Councilman Marquez and second by Councilman Alvarez. Councilman Marquez?
Yes.
Councilman Medina?
Yes.
Councilman Alvarez?
Yes.
And Mayor De La Riva.
Yes. Item number 5, Mr. Marquez.
Item number 5, that is regarding temporary use of Riverfront Park by Kid Pueblo Unido on June 1st. I know that's a Saturday, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm not sure if the football Pop Warner Relief uses that or somebody else. I just want to make sure that there were no multiple organizations at the park.
No, we don't. Sometimes we don't make a reservation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sometimes the Wildcats use it, but
There you go. That's it.
They do it in the morning.
true.
Because this is 8 to 1 for the school to use the park. So, but just wanted to make sure.
I can call the coach.
But yeah, we can let Danny know that there's going to be an event that day.
There's 150 to 200 people at the park, so that's a lot of people at the park. And
Do we know which portion they want to use, Mr. Mango?
The upper portion,
The center part? or-
Yes. yeah, set up a picnic for,
Okay, so we probably should reach out to the Wildcats and let them know in case they were planning on using it. There's going to be an event that day.
yes. I'll make a motion to approve.
Can you get a roll call, please?
Councilman Marquez motion, second by Councilman Medina. Councilman Marquez?
Yes.
Councilman Medina?
Yes.
Councilman Alvarez?
Yes.
And Mayor De La Riva.
Yes. Item number 6, Mr. Marquez.
Item number 6. It's just pretty promising and exciting that we're looking at the city's energy efficiencies. I'm looking at the timeline and I see that maybe the council is being presented letters of authorization for this. I'm guessing that might be today.
That is correct. So this is if you recall, they did the presentation, I think a meeting or 2 meetings ago, and when I spoke with them, this would start the authorization process for them to do the analysis on the energy savings, and at no cost to the city. And so the final schedule will probably may change in terms of the dates, since we're already past the 15th.
Okay.
So before we sign the agreement, we'll have them give us a revised schedule.
Thank you. With that, I see that the next time that the city council will have maybe an update on this is not until December, based on the timeline there. And there's possibly a couple of assessments or preliminary assessments results that are going to come out before it's brought up to the council again. I was really hoping that maybe somewhere in between December or now in December, we can get an update of possibly some assessments or results, just so that we can.
So I think that their preliminary results that they're looking to come back with would actually be sometime in August.
Yes.
And so certainly at that point in time, the entirety of the report will have to come to the council because then that's when you'll be asked to make a financial decision and to look at how they're intending to finance and move forward with it. So certainly before you even get there, you'll have all of that assessment and data.
Perfect. Just wanted to clarify because I don't see Maywood City Council on the timeline until December.
We'll make sure that that gets revised.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions for that one. And I'll make a motion to approve.
Get a roll call, please.
Motion by Councilman Marquez, second by Councilman Alvarez. Councilman Marquez.
Councilmember Marquez.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Councilman Medina.
It's like super fast today.
Councilman Alvarez.
Yes.
And Mayor Dudley.
Yes. Item number 8, Mr. Marquez.
Last one for me. It's exciting that census is coming. It's just around the corner. I said there is a meeting happening, this is last date, May 29th at 8:30 a.m. Who is representing Maywood at this meeting?
We'll send somebody from staff.
Awesome. I just want to make I mean, I even took notes. I would have loved to be part of this meeting, but it's at 8:30 a.m. So I don't know if there's going to be other meetings regarding this that can possibly be recommended for a later time so that.
In this area.
So-
I know they've got a lot of outreach that goes out. We can talk to them and see if maybe they can come in and do an individual meeting about the outreach that they have. My previous city, we did have some, there was a program manager that was coming out and talking to at least the city managers and trying to get those numbers to ensure that they're going. And, try to implore people to put, the kiosk stuff in City Hall, the senior center, wherever community outreach that we can do. We can look at that and definitely send somebody.
Yeah, especially if we're trying to increase numbers, I feel that there should be various options as to when these meetings are happening. That's just my suggestion. Thank you so much.
They did have a meeting a few weeks back in Southgate. It was in the afternoon, but yeah, they told them throughout the different days, turn of the day.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Roll call, please.
Motion by Councilman Marquez and second by Councilman Medina. Councilman Marquez.
Yes.
Councilman Medina.
Yes.
Councilman Alvarez. Yes. And Mayor Dudley.
Yes. That is all for consent. There are no discussion items, so we'll move on to public participation on non-agenda items. Mr. Bobby Knish.
Hello. I'm Bobby Kennedy. I live in the city of Maywood for 48 years. I'm part of the Relay for Life. I have a team now there's a cancer. I have a fundraiser June 6th at Gate Pool. I'd like to invite everybody to attend. I have flyers on the back table for it. I'm also having a 50-50 wrap that day. Tickets from the sales, ticket sales. I'm taking, divide the money in half. Half goes to the winning ticket, the other half comes to the team for the relay. That's all I have.
When is the term again? Or is it going
The boy event is June 6th, the Thursday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And our relay that we have for the actual event is June 22nd, and that's at Salt Lake Park. But my fundraiser is on the 6th.
On the 22nd, at what time, sir?
The 22nd at Salt Lake Park will be from 10 to 10, it's a 12-hour event. And I'll be there the whole day. And we'll have people doing laps for the relay. And at night, we have a luminary event where people that buy luminary bags to honor somebody that has cancer or surviving cancer or beat cancer or lots of battle cancer. We'll light the bags up with tea lights and we'll do a lap or memorialize all them. on them for that. And after that, they have a slideshow. So there'll be activities going all day at the park for the day of the day. We'll invite in the whole city of Maywood to come out. We have teams starting, my team, Mo, Ever started a team. I have another resident in the city of Maywood, she started a team. But right now we have 3 teams in the city of Maywood, hoping to get more for next year. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Alondra Olmos.
My name is Alondra Olmos. Do I start yet? Okay, my name is Alondra Olmos. I was appointed on the Planning Commission, and as part of that, I was also appointed to sit as a board member for the Equal Rapid Transit, and so I have my first summary. What I plan to do in the future, though, is relay this information beforehand to the city manager so that you guys can have this information and it can be available to residents as well. So I will do that moving forward. A little bit of background for the Equal Rapid Transit. It is a joint power authority dedicated to pursue development of a transit system that moves as rapidly as possible, is environmentally friendly and energy efficient. Equal Rapid is a 2-phase project, and the one that impacts us is the first phase, which is the West Santa Ana Branch Light Rail project. And what it would do is it would create a 20-mile long corridor connecting Artesia to downtown LA. So a little bit of updates from that so far. I'm in the process of scheduling a meeting with Michael Kodama, who is the executive director for Equal Rapid, so that he can give me a brief on the project and any important updates that the city of Maywood has missed. There is an outstanding payment for last year's membership fees, which are due at once, and there's also membership fees for the 2019-2020 year that are due, and it has been sent to the city for approval. The board also requests an approval on the JEPA decision. Mr. Kodmat stated that the information was sent to the city for approval, but is still pending. However, he did say if there's any questions from staff or the council, that he is more than happy to organize a meeting and answer any potential questions. So Metro is now at the next level of planning, which involves the environment aspect of it. So they're gathering information on the environmental impact statement and environmental impact report. And that's the process that they're in for the corridor to start building the light rail. Equal Rapid Transit has also received a conditional award letter to work on a grant to develop the Pacific, Randolph, and Florence Salt Lake community-specific plans. This will be the focus on for the next meeting, which is on June 12th. And this grant was awarded through the fiscal year by the Department of Transportation, which is Caltrans, specifically the Sustainable Transportation Plan Grant Fund Cycle. If the council or any community residents have questions and would like to clarify the expectations for the project, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to relay that information to the Equal Rapid board. And a little bit of background on that: the project is to develop the transit-oriented community specific plans for the station along Metro's planned light rail corridor. The West Santa Ana Branch, Pacific, Randolph, and Salt Lake stations located in the city of Huntington Park. The proposed plans will follow the Equal Rapid Transit TOD guidelines and the COGS Strategic Transportation Plan and the West Santa Ana Branch Strategic Implementation Plans. So they're doing all this while engaging the community, so I think it's important to have an input, and since it's close to Maywood and it will impact us.
Continue.
Okay. Equal Rapid Transit is receiving an award of excellence for the neighborhood planning at the 2019 APA Los Angeles Awards. The Los Angeles section will be honoring its recipients at an upcoming gala, and the award ceremony will be held on Thursday, June 20th, from 6 to 9 in Little Tokyo. If the council is interested in attending, please let me know so I can make RSVPs. And then to finalize, if any Maywood residents, council, or staff have any questions regarding the project or want to contribute any ideas, please let me know what way I can be a more effective liaison on the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes. I want to thank you so much for coming in. I think it's the first time we've ever had someone that was appointed come in and give us such a thorough summary. So I want to thank you first of all for taking on the responsibility of attending and then coming forward and not only presenting but typing your presentation. So thank you so much for taking that on, and thank you so much for doing this. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Mr. Gerardo Maywood.
Mayor, City Council, I just wanted to come and express some gratitude for our LA County Sheriff's Department. As you all know, a couple of weeks ago, there was a major show on the news media with a guy shooting at police. And I don't know if you're aware, but that suspect was actually in Maywood and was being followed by Downey Police Department when they requested assistance from the East LA Sheriff's Department. It was actually our Maywood units and Cudahy units that were actually assisting Downey as well as Bell Gardens, but as you all know, that was a very dangerous pursuit. Sometimes, personally, I forget what they do, but that was the day that woke me up again, and I really appreciate them, you know. I mean, it doesn't get more dangerous than somebody shooting at you. But with that said, I just want to commend everybody at East LA, every deputy for, you know, always putting their lives on the line for us and helping us out. Just like Councilman Marquez said, you know, earlier today about them playing catch. You know, you don't hear about that stuff very often, but it makes a big difference when we hear that type of stories. It really does. So, with that said as well, I'd like to commend you know, Bell Gardens for assisting Downey, the Downey Police Department, as well as Vernon and all those involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is David Perez.
Good evening. My name is David Perez, resident of Maywood. In the first place, I would like to welcome our city attorney and city administrator. When there is a change, there is always a hope, and we have a faith and hope in you. That will be that you will be able to bring our city back where it used to be before. I also would like to ask the city council members if you will be able to retract the taxes that were implemented by Mr. Medina during those 3 years. So that's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Reina Mendez.
Good evening, my name is Reina Mendez and I'm a resident of Maywood, and today I would like to speak about accountability. A couple of months ago, a community member reached out to me to review the sewer service charge. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's basically 80 pages, 40 parcels per page, so it's a total of 3,161 parcels, and I went ahead and retyped all of this data to verify the information that was in this report. On April 10th, 2019, after the council meeting, I mentioned my findings to Dan Garcia of the discrepancies in the report. He said that he did notice them and asked me for my report, of which I replied no, because Francisco and Associates gets paid $8,000 to do the work that I did. And also, Francisco and Associates gets the electronic files as opposed to me typing all of the data on my own time. So we basically pay someone at the city to review the report, and it's still not accurate. On April 10th as well, I asked him if he would send me the final annual report submitted to the auditor controller for property tax collection, and he said yes, that to go ahead and email him. On April 11th, 2019, I sent Dan Garcia an email regarding the report. I made a total of 3 attempts and no reply. So I went ahead and I moved forward. I sent in a public records request to the city. Then I got chastised for not noting on the form that I had already requested the report from a staff member. This would not have been an issue if I would have received an acknowledgement of my initial request. I received the report, however, the report that they sent me, I already had, so I had to send another request. On May 8th, 2019, I spoke with Dan Garcia, and I asked him about the 2019-2020 preliminary roll, because it's usually out in April. He said that there were no changes. Then I asked him, why are we paying $8,000 if we have no changes? He said, oh, the reports needs to be updated. I told him, well, then that's a contradiction, because first you say there were no changes, then you say we have updates. So he didn't really answer my question. After comparing both reports, some of the discrepancies were fixed and others not. Needless to say, the report was submitted as is to the auditor controller. As you know, management in every type of business use key reports as a basis for making decisions and for financial reporting. So I just wanted to make sure that there's accountability.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rena.
Ms. Heather Wilson.
Mrs. Wilson, I live on 60th Street. I would like to say I concur with David. And Rena, I want to thank you for her research. That takes time. I've done it, so I know what she's, the time she's put in. I would like to thank Ever for his reminder for last weekend. Because of you, I was able to show up at the event. I had forgotten, and there it was, and I got dressed and flew out the door. I made it. Two, I'm positive that everyone in this room is aware that noodles are being left in a lot of places. So let's just be careful, bus stops, wherever we sit. I have some ideas about this, but I'll run them by Eddie and a few other people before I do it here. Before I leave tonight, I would like to know what the fine is for dumping trash. Do we have one? Is it a misdemeanor, or are we the people breaking the law? But I would like to know that. And I would like to see the sexual harassment, workplace harassment guidelines that we finally received a while back. I would like to see that the lawyer and our new city manager, Jennifer, and the council go over these, because those are very, very sensitive matters. And sometimes words need to be spelled out very specifically, like no leering and things like that. I've read the report at least 3 times. I yellow-lined it and penciled it. Now it's lost in my house. So I have to find it again. So I am bringing it up tonight because I think it's something that needs to be done ASAP before something happens. And if you've done it, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Mari Mariscal.
Good evening. I only have a request. That's my only, the only thing I'm going to speak today. I went to the Planning Commission yesterday, and unfortunately I was not able to speak. And I wanted to ask to see if there's any way you guys can implement the meetings to change to 7 as well. If you want the participation of the community, I think we need to change those meetings, just like we did for the council meetings, if it's possible to do that. And there's also people in there that they don't understand what's going on. So if there's any possibility that also Pablo can be there to translate. I don't know how can you guys do that. Because there's Spanish speaking in there and we don't know what's going on. So those are the 2 things that I would like to see. I see that you have the agenda in Spanish. It's in the website in Spanish, but the community comes to the city and we have nothing, no translation. So if you can have that too at the planning commissioners, it will be greatly appreciated. And also if you can move it to 7, that way I can go and speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Veronica Guardado.
Good evening, my name is Veronica Guardado. First of all, I just wanted to say welcome, Ms. Vasquez. I'm really excited that you're here with your experience, and I'm looking forward to see what the city is going to move forward in a good way, because we've had 3 bad years, very bad years. I would like to ask that we revisit some of the changes that were implemented. For example, it was mentioned earlier, the increase in property taxes. I want to make sure that the percentage that was calculated was accurate because we had lowered it years before that when we were told that we were overcharging the community residents. And then we could revisit that. I also want us to revisit the sewer assessment because they're using a report that was created back in 2007, and we've asked repeatedly for them to provide a more updated report of what they're basing their calculations on, and they're just pulling a number from a report that was done back in 2007 by an agency that was questionable anyway. And then that was also another assessment that was added to the property taxes. The third one, at the top of my head, I can't remember what that tax is, but I know there's 3 taxes. Oh yes, the trash company also implemented a utility tax. And I wanted to verify if that's actually legal to place a utility tax on trash haul fees, because that's a health, I'm sorry, I just have a sore throat, so I can't talk over. That's a health necessity, and I wanted to make sure that we're not being charged a tax that we shouldn't be charged. And this was all done in the last 3 years. I want us to see if we can review it and take care of it. And Mayor De La Riva, I just want to say thank you very much to the new council. I know I say this all the time, but with the constant transparency, I think this is great. The Planning Commission is doing a really good job. I asked questions. They're looking through the reports, and the person you appointed for Echo Transit gave a really nice detailed report, which we have lost out in the last 3 years of being able to have a station on Randolph and Atlantic because we had no representation that spoke for our city. All of this under Medina's leadership, well, so-called leadership. And then the newsletter that you sent out, obviously Medina, you lied to the community. Now we're finding out that not all the bills were paid, like you said to people in that newsletter, that all the bills were paid. So you know what, stop telling people stories and let's just get down to work and get the city moving forward and get out of the mess and the trash that we've been drugged into. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Irving Pacheco.
Good evening, buenas tardes. My name is Irving Pacheco. I'm here on behalf of Urban Operations Agency from the state of California. From the Census 2020 campaign, and I just found it a good segue that the council member was asking, should we have someone here to talk more about the census? Well, here I am. Council member and mayor, thank you for having me here. Congratulations to the city manager and the decision, to the city clerk, and to all the staff for all your hard work. So I'm here on behalf of the governor, governor's office, the operations agency, and our campaign of Census 2020, gearing up for next year's very important Census 2020. I'm reaching out to the local cities. I am your regional program manager. I'm here as your liaison for any inquiries or concerns from the state of California because of this unprecedented commitment by the governor. Right now we're looking at more than $100 million for outreach to get to our hard-to-count population here in the state of California. As you know, the census is an indicator of federal funds that our local communities receive. And just want to make it how important it is. Each of us right here comes to about $2,000 a year. So if you don't get counted, you miss out on those $2,000 for the next 10 years. And these are services for clinics, public transportation, social services, et cetera, et cetera. I'm here to be your liaison, answer any questions. We want the city of Maywood to really participate because of the importance you take place here in LA County. The current funding structure is that Los Angeles County has received, is one of our contract recipients, and they should be reaching out to City of Maywood. They have allocated funds depending on the HTC, Hard to Count Index. This index is classified with different categories, housing, single parents, immigration, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the tasks for the city is to find out the collaboration you're going to have with the county. En español, vengo parte del estado de California. Tenemos una campaña de alcance para asegurarnos que todos los californianos sean contados, especialmente los difíciles de contar. Son poblaciones migrantes, padres solteros, niños de 0 a 5. Queremos que todos los padres cuenten de los niños porque a veces es un factor que no entendemos por qué no estamos contando todas nuestras viviendas. Vengo yo como su enlace de parte del Estado para contestarle cualquier pregunta y de verdad de motivarlos para que estén todos contados. Muchas gracias por su tiempo. Thank you for your time. And I'll be right.
Thank you, Mr. Pacheco. Our final speaker of the evening, Mr. Gustavo Pantoja.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Gustavo Pantoja, vivo en la 53. Yo vengo tocante, sigo yo insistiendo en lo del parque. Ayer fui a ver qué me decían y me dijeron rotundamente que ya no me lo iban a rentar porque ya va a ser dedicado nomás para los niños. Entonces, ellos sí tienen todo el derecho, pero también nosotros los mayores también tenemos derecho. Ahora tú me acusaste, me dijiste que no podía tomar en la ciudad. Me dijeron que nos habían ido tomando adentro del field. Si miraron uniformes que tienen fotos, queremos ver nosotros las fotos, yo quiero verlas. Que digan Maywood, del equipo Maywood, entonces sí, se las voy a creer, pero eso es ya personal algo. Entonces, yo quiero saber, yo también tengo derecho a la ciudad, también pago mis taxis y todo. ¿Por qué ese punto así negativo? Ahora también vamos por el otro punto. Me estaban acusando, cada rato hablan aquí que yo estoy demandando que ustedes no van a pagar para que los abogados de la demanda de la basura de la República. La República la corrieron porque los hallaron culpables por 2 años, nos tuvieron robando, así a la barba, robando. Entonces, cuando se hizo la demanda, hubo la demanda de la ciudad y una colectiva para representar a todo Maywood. Ok, si ustedes le perdonan a ese dinero a la República, entonces ustedes nos van a reembolsar el dinero que ustedes les van a perdonar a ellos. Porque nos robaron por 2 años. Entonces un volumen allí, de cómo nos va a tocar. A mí yo quiero que me devuelvan mi dinero. De lo que por 2 años les dieron un aumento y no nos avisaban ni nada. Por eso el juez les dijo, se me salen. Por eso se fueron así de un día para otro. No les dieron tiempo de nada. Pero sí los abogados estaban aquí. Y vaya gente decía que la firmen, refirmen. ¿Cómo? Si ellos ya estaban corridos. El juez les dijo, se me salen tal día y por eso se fueron con todo su equipo. Y también fui a reclamar mi dinero que está ahí en mi bono y 2 fechas que pagué. Me están diciendo que me devolvieron el bono, pero el bono, yo les dije que cuando me devolvieron el dinero del bono, no había ninguna firma ahí que yo haya firmado que me recibía el dinero. También de las 2 fechas, el bono es de 200. Hay una también de 140 de 2 juegos que me deben. Entonces me dijeron que no me los podían dar.
Thank you for your comments. That was our final speaker. We will now adjourn to the next regular meeting of the Maywood City Council on June 12th at 5 p.m. Adjourn to June 12th at 5 p.m. Thank you. Good night.
5 p.m.